Hey again, everyone, and welcome back to the channel for another installment in our new figure showcase series. And this is, again, that retro version where we're taking a look at a figure that I've owned for a while, but I've just never unboxed because I didn't have the display space available. Now that I do have it, it's time to kind of revisit these and experience the joy of unboxing them and kind of posing them up. So for today, we're sticking to Marvel, but we're getting away from Hot Toys, and we're taking a look at the Arts Figures Crossbones. They call him the Mercenary, but it is Crossbones, based on his appearance in Captain America: Civil War, as played by I forget the actor's name, but he's the character of Rumlow that we got to see, member of Hydra, during Captain America and the Winter Soldier. So look, this is a great figure. I'll tell you right now off the bat, very impressed. It's one of those figures that Hot Toys did tease at a convention. They had a full 6-scale prototype. It would have made sense for them to make it. It was just, he only has a very small sequence in a Captain America Civil War, but I think the character itself, when you look at Captain America, it's one of those characters that just belongs with him. And it's a shame that Hot Toys never produced him, because I think that figure would have been amazing. But what we got here from Arts Figures is actually a very, very solid version of Crossbones. So I can live, I'm happy that someone decided to make this character and that they decided to make him so well, where even though I think the Hot Toys would have probably had some details, particularly on the sculpt, that would have elevated the figure, I think what we get here is actually really, really solid, and I'm impressed at what Arts Figures was able to do. So we'll get into all the accessories, because that's where this really starts to shine a lot. So we'll start with the hands. Look, they're very good. They're gloved hands with that standard tactical element with the different guards on the knuckles and protective gear, right? They're pre-posed, especially to hold with those gauntlets that he has, which is really the look that I was going for with Crossbones. Then you get the entire accessory kit up, and this is where I'm sure Hot Toys would have already had this on the figure. Arts Figures makes you work for it a little bit, and we'll get into it. But if you have any experience with military figures, that's a little bit of the approach you have to follow here. Not as intensive, but still a little involved. But you see the nice detail in the armor, especially the vest with the X, the painted X on it, which is very integral to that character. And then, as we saw in the movie, you get a ton of different magazine holders and clips for a rifle, which he does not come with, and a sidearm, which he does come with, that we'll look at. He does have two versions of clips for the sidearm. They're all designed to be tucked into different pockets and fit on the figure. Detail wise, look, this is definitely borrowing heavily from military style figures. So if you've seen Dan Toys, Easy and Simple, Soldier Story, that's what you get. And you can kind of see everything assembled here with things where they're supposed to live and now ready to be put on the figure itself. As I mentioned, he does come with a sidearm and with a drop down leg holster. Very nicely done. Again, the detail work on this is phenomenal, leaning heavily into that military style. You do get the added shotgun shell, so he should be a character that, from a weapons perspective, is fully loaded. Granted, they're kind of giving us a version from the bulk of the movie where he's not armed, and this is the detail that really shines. It's those gauntlets that he has that have the different knives, and essentially give him the ability to punch our super soldier, our favorite super soldier, Captain America, right? That they deploy. It was a great look in the movie, and I think they replicated it really well here, including how to install it into the figure's hands. And then you get that mask, and this is where I think this is a critical component. Without the mask, it does look like the actor. It's decent, but it's not that Hot Toys level quality. But with the mask, which is how I am intending on displaying this character, very impressive overall. So jumping into the sculpt, again, this is supposed to be Rumlow, right? And I think there is a passing likeness to him, but I do feel like, look, and the detail work on the scars, the burns that he has, even the ear, which is kind of melted into his face, I think there's a lot of good detail, but I do think the figure also suffers from an antiquated paint job that we've distanced ourselves from. So it's decent, but not the best. The rest of the body, pretty stocky. I will tell you this, it's a heavy body. The chest does feel a little oversized, but once you put all the armor on and all the elements, I think the figure scales well. The legs are a little loose, I will say, and I don't know if that's just age related with mine because it's been in the box for so long. So it's one that I'll look for a stand to pick up, but detail work decent with the underlying camo and the shirt. But again, the figure really comes to life once you kit everything up, right? Once he has his chest holster, the arm vest, and the back guard. He's got those shoulder pieces of armor where he's got the different ammo packs into. All I checked against the screenshots in the movie. Credit to Art Figures. They really were able to replicate what we saw on screen with the different elements, right, tucked into different pockets and different locations on the arms. And again, those gauntlets, that's what really impresses, right? The fact that they were able to recreate this and have some functioning parts where you got moving pistons and have the level of detail that it does, I mean, that's impressive. But it's overall just it's a military figure. I think they were able to recreate that Crossbones from the movie, as brief as his appearance was, right? They did a great job here. So it makes me a little less upset that Hot Toys decided to pass and forego making this character when you get such a great version of it. So kudos to Arts Figures for stepping in and filling in a void and creating something that is really overall solid. And like I mentioned, once you put that helmet on, this figure fits in nicely. Looking at him now in the display with, you know, the other Cap figures, the other Hot Toys levels figures, he fits in remarkably well. I'd be hard pressed for somebody who didn't know the community, the 6-scale market like some of us do, to tell me this is not a Hot Toys level figure, especially fully kit up with that mask. So look, for me, that's probably the biggest challenge. It's you have to have some experience with these figures. Super thin needle nose, not pliers, but right there, kind of are going to be your friend in terms of kitting this up and getting all the straps where they need to be, all the different pouches where they need to be. But this is a phenomenal figure, and I think the pictures and the video tell the story itself, that this is really impressive, and I'm glad someone was able to give us that Crossbones figure. So just a quick look at an older release. Let me know your thoughts, and we'll touch base on the next one.